Hey, thank you everybody. This is Nikki Burnett. I'm the founder of Taste Like Nutrition. I'm a functional nutritionist and I practice strategic evidence-based nutrition. I talked last week a little bit about dogs, and I felt like that I didn't give as much information as I wanted to. I gave a lot of information, but I didn't really go into what I feed them. And I still think that I want to do a video to show you what I do and how I feed them. But I really want to make some things clear when I talk about the kind of foods that they eat and what I do and how it's not that difficult because, you know, our goal when we get these guys, we adopt them or we buy them or whatever it is we do. Adoption is good. It's always good to adopt or to rescue. But our goal is to keep them around as long as we can. I want to keep my guys around as long as I can. And, you know, I lost my guy last year at 10. That's just too early. And I think I said in my last video that, you know, in my mind, truly, they should be living to like 20. And so I work really hard to research what I think that they should eat and what I think is best. And I want to tell you what I think about that. And some of you may know, you may not know, but I do work with dogs. Now, my main focus is human nutrition, but, you know, I love working with dogs. It's an amazing thing to see things as simple as changing a diet bring health and vitality back to a dog. It does the same thing for us. If we're eating Taco Bell every day, which is essentially what Kibble is just fast food full of toxins and carcinogens. And like I said last week, I don't care how much you pay for it. Kibble is a problem. And so if we can make these changes for ourselves and make these changes for our little furry family members, it makes such a huge difference. Let's keep them off the drugs, to keep ourselves off the drugs. Let's try to bring health and vitality to all of us that are around us, okay, including ourselves. So I want to back up just a little bit for those that didn't see the last video. I don't remember what I entitled it. It was, I think it was just Let's Talk About Dogs, because it's one of my favorite things to talk about. But I want to recap a little bit what I said about Kibble. You can always go back to that video and watch, but a couple of things. Kibble, because it's processed at such a high heat, it creates one, possibly two carcinogens. So any kibble that is a cooked, molded type of food is, which you get in the bags. Now they have the raw thing, you know, raw diets and freeze-dried, totally different, okay? But this is the kibble that we've been told is healthy and balanced, and we buy the dog food. It can be, you know, 20 bucks a bag or 150 bucks a bag, and we're told that it's the best thing in the world for our dogs, and it's not. So it's creating, the high heat processing is creating a carcinogen. Two, because it's a dried food, this keeps the dogs in a perpetually dehydrated state. Think about that. So if you do continue to feed kibble, then wet it. And don't fall for the whole marketing gimmicky crap that says that hard food is good for their teeth. It's not. It's not. What's good for their teeth is bone. Raw beef bone, the really big raw beef bone, or I want to say antlers. My dogs have done really well with antlers. There have been some dogs whose teeth are breaking. This is going a little bit off topic, but I'm almost willing to bet, I don't know if this is the case, I haven't seen the research, and I don't know if there is any research, but I would almost bet that those dogs whose teeth are breaking, they are not healthy animals. I've never seen my dog's teeth break. So think about that. Give them good things to chew on. You know, ropes and toys with no coloring, no toys that come from China. Look at where they come from. Make sure all the coloring is natural and not toxic, because that stuff's going to create problems too. Okay, so what do I feed my dogs? I essentially feed them a lot of what I feed my husband and me. Me. And so I feed them beef if I have beef, whether it's ground or chopped or whatever. We've bought an elk, so I fed them elk, chicken, and lamb, pork, and all of these are the types of animals that I would put in my own body. So if you've seen any of my other videos on the types of foods, the types of meats that we should be eating, it's all grass-fed or it's pastured. I'm very, very careful about that. They get bone. Big, big important note about bone. Bone is healthy. It's got all of the minerals in it that they need. They need bone, but cooked bone will splinter. Never, ever, ever give your dog any type of cooked bone. I had some friends that brought over, they were really sweet, and they were bringing over treats for our dogs, and it was this nice big bone, and it looked like it had a little meat on it. Anyway, as soon as they started chewing on it, it splintered. And I thought, how can people actually sell this stuff and be okay with it? You know, my friends had no idea. But cooked bone is very dangerous and can cause a lot of problems. Now, the bone that I give to my dogs is chicken backs, chicken feet, which is a lot of collagen, mostly collagen, and chicken necks. And so you can buy them. They still have some meat on them, but you can buy them, and I'll take them, and I'll take a big knife, and I'll just crunch it up. You know, it doesn't have to be too small because they'll chew it. I mean, they'll chew it up, and they'll love it. But it does need, in my mind, it needs to be crunched up. There could be a lot of people that don't worry about doing that, and that's okay. But I want to crunch it up a bit. I'm going to tell you what I just ordered off of Amazon is a meat grinder that grinds bone. And I'm stoked about that. I'm super excited to be able to stick in a chicken leg and it come out with the meat and the bone all ground up. So that's cool, super cool. If you have any questions about that, let me know. What else do they get? Organ meats. I give them liver. I don't overdo it with liver. It's high in fat-soluble A and D, which is a good thing. We want those, but we don't want them to live off of liver. We don't, you know, they can become toxic at super high levels, but I'm talking really super high levels. So liver is great. So liver, chicken gizzards, what else? Tongue, beef tongue. I have purchased beef tongue for them. Tripe, oh gosh, they love tripe. And I think that's probably it. I use chicken feet as treats, and they love them. I'll, you know, cut those into a piece or 2 pieces or 3 pieces, whatever, and I'll give them to them. I think really probably those are soft enough where you don't have to, but I still do. I have one of my dogs, it doesn't worry about, I mean, he'll eat, he'll take it or leave it, you know, but the other one, she wolfs everything down. She is a true crazy hound, you know, she just eats anything that's in front of her. So I'm really careful with the way that I feed her and what I give her until she's used to eating meat. And that would be something that I want to come back to is think about if you start to introduce raw foods into your dog's diet, do it slowly. Be smart about it. Don't just switch it. I've never had a whole lot of, you know, people or, you know, food companies, they'll talk about how the animals' stomachs will get upset, and I think that is true when they've been fed one thing for however many years. I've never had that problem. I switch foods out on my dogs all the time. They get all kinds of stuff, but it's because I'm intentional about what they're getting, and I change it up just like we need it to be changed up. Okay, so if this is new for you, do your research. But do it slowly, and they're gonna love it. Almost every time I have people that come back to me constantly saying, well, you know, they ate fine, you know, they were free feeders with their kibble, I could just leave the food down, but when I put this food in front of them, they just scarf it up. Well, yeah, duh, because they know one is good for them, and one, they're just the other one, they're just hungry and they need to eat. So, but funny story, when we got our latest dog, Sage, she'd never had raw meat, and so I put a little kibble down. I knew that's what she'd been getting, so I put a little kibble down and put some meat in it, and she actually spit it out at first, but she ate it within, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes or something like that. So sometimes it's a surprise. They're not used to it, but they'll quickly figure it out. Let's see. I will take berries, and so that would be blueberries, blackberries, cranberries, raspberries, no strawberries. There is a potential of allergic reaction for some dogs with strawberries. And I'll take those and I'll put them in with lots of cruciferous vegetables. That would be garlic, not garlic, I mean garlic, yes, but cruciferous vegetables are broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kale. There are several others, but you get the point. So those things are really great for the liver functioning. It's great for dogs with cancer. I'm very careful about giving my chili a lot of cruciferous vegetables and good healthy berries. Not a lot of berries. I don't want a lot of sugar, but these cruciferous vegetables mixed with some good berries to help to keep him in a healthy place. Let's see. I'm not sure what this is. So I'm still, and so Michael Smith, it says to invite you in. So if that's you and you're in, then great. So I just invited you in. Okay, so anyway, I'll put the veggies and the fruit into, oh, you can do bananas, you can do apples. For my one Sage, I don't worry as much about, too much sugar for her. Obviously good sugar only, but with Chili, I want his sugar to be really low. So I do feed them just a little bit differently. So what else? I'll put it in a food processor. So you want it really, really chopped up really well, really, really small, because their GIs are very different than ours. We have this long GI and they have a very short one. And so they're not equipped necessarily to break down the fruits and vegetables like we are. They are more equipped to eat the raw meat and the raw food. Because they have a short GI tract, they can handle any bacteria that may be on the food. Also, their stomach is a pH of 1. So it's really low. They're able to handle just about anything. So I have to date never seen an issue with salmonella. Doesn't mean it's never happened, but I haven't seen it or heard of it. I know it is a concern, but it doesn't concern me. It really doesn't. And a lot of it's because I know the type of food that I'm giving them. I know where it's coming from. Okay, so sorry, I digress. Put your veggies and your fruit in a food processor. I like to add, well, you kind of have to add either water, but I like to add bone broth because you want it so small. You gotta have more liquid in there, so it gets really, really small. So it gets just a little bit soupy, and so I mix it all up. And so I really try to give them something different every day, every other day, because I make excess, and so I will make 2 or 3 days worth, and then I'll put it in the freezer. And then so it could be a couple of days in a row that I have different foods that I'm making up and putting them in the freezer so I can go back to it and I'm still mixing it up. I'll add garlic, parsley, cilantro, I think rosemary is good. Lots of great things. Other good vegetables you can do are summer squashes and winter squashes. Winter squashes are really, really great. And then sweet potatoes. I wouldn't do regular potatoes, and I certainly wouldn't do raw regular potatoes. I don't think they give much to the animal. If you're going to feed them, you want to feed them nutrient-dense foods. Now, for your dogs that are not dealing with cancer, I think some beans and maybe some oatmeal are okay. Gluten-free oatmeal, good organic beans, I think that's fine. Periodically. It's still a filler, but it's got some good fiber and it's got some good stuff in it that are good and healthy for the dogs. Let's see. I want to see if there's anything that I'm missing. And probably next video I'll go back to human nutrition, but I really felt like that I didn't cover it as well as I had wanted to, what I feed my dogs. But if I can get around to doing video, I just have to have somebody else here with me. But if I can do a video and show you how easy it is, then that would be ideal. So let me know if you have any questions. You can post comments down below. You can go to my Facebook page, tastelifenutrition.com. That's my website, or my Facebook page. Ask me questions. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to talk about. And I'm here for whatever you need. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.